Hello, sports fans. Welcome to another edition of VetsPlusSports.com. This is your host, Terrell Cool Beans Davis, along with my co-host, Mr. James Miller.
Hello, everyone. How y'all doing tonight? Before we get into this episode, I'll let Beans do a shout out to our listeners.
All right, we like to thank those that come on to watch the live. Thank y'all for giving us your undivided attention. And for those that are come and watch the replay, thank y'all for that. Hopefully, y'all having a good evening out there tonight. Good football evening. We're going to find out about we'll talk about football when we get into football.
Yeah, and I'm going over our picks right now. We stunk it up in today in the NFL.
Did we ever?
And we're going to have a losing record on our picks and that, but we'll get to that here shortly. If you want, you go ahead and dive into women's NBA if you got anything there.
Actually, on women's NBA, I didn't have anything on women's NBA. I know on men's NBA that Emirates Turn Cup, it's about to get ready to close up starting Tuesday. They'll be eliminating teams from it.
Yeah, right now, I got the scores up for the day for the NBA. You had the Celtics beating the Raptors 121 to 113. The Grizzlies over the Trailblazers 119-96. The Nuggets over the Hornets 115-106. And you got three games going on right now. It's at halftime in Utah, and the Thunder are putting a hurting on the Jazz at 74-48. The Warriors are beating the Bulls 119-86 with 2:47 left in the fourth. The Lakers are up in the third with 3 minutes left, 80-76 over the 76ers. And then some of the headline news you got going on is the Greek Freak. With, I guess, being traded and the deals where he's going to go, where he's going to land.
Oh, he got traded?
Nah, well, it says pairing. They're just talking, pairing him up with Steph Curry or Kevin Durant, or where's he going to go? So evidently, I guess he's wanting out.
Yeah, he don't want to be in Milwaukee anymore.
So he ain't traded yet. They're just talking about pairing up. I mean, the Warriors could use him. I hope he goes to the Warriors.
I
don't
think
know
that would be the key that they can end up getting another title is if he goes there.
Yeah, I'd like to see Curry get one more title. That way, he's got one more than LeBron. And you can end that GOAT talk. Hey, let's see here. We'll run down the standings real fast on it. Still early, and everything else. In the Eastern, you still got Detroit up. They're 19-5. Your Knicks are behind them by 2 games. They're 16-7. Well, 2.5 games. Celtics 15-9. Raptors are 15-10. Sixers is 13-9. Orlando Magic 14-10. Heat's 14-10. The Cavaliers and the Hawks. Cavaliers have been falling. They're 14-11, and so is the Hawks, and the Bulls are 9-13.
I know it's hard to. Well, I can believe where the Bulls are, but not with the Cavaliers.
Well, the Bulls started out hot, man. They
did.
They just started losing. Oklahoma City is 22-1.
Wow.
22-1. The Nuggets are 17-6. Lakers 16-6. Rockets 15-6. Spurs 15-7. Timberwolves 15-8. They got the Suns 13-10. Golden State's 12-12. Grizzlies at 11-13, and Portland's at 9-15. That's a rundown of the NBA and the women's NBA. I will say this: I went to one of the Mountaineers basketball games last night.
Oh, I meant to download that picture and show it today.
And we watched them play Wake Forest, which they lost to Wake Forest. They was in that ball game for a little bit. They just got tired at the end and
ran out of gas, huh?
Ran out of gas. And that number 25, I can't think of his name. It plays for Wake Forest. That dude's a beast. He's good, and but West Virginia's first year coach. I mean, they're doing good. They've only lost, I think, 3 games. But we'll see how they do in Big 12 play. That'll tell the truth
Right.
once they get in it. Because I mean, Big 12 is a basketball conference. So let's go over some scores in NHL hockey.
Yeah, because we didn't do that on our audio. We skipped hockey.
Yeah, we did. Well, come on now. Am I? There we go. Oh, excuse me. Um, let's see here. Let's get some finals here. You got the Avalanche beat the Flyers 3-2. You had the Panthers over the Islanders 4-1. Sharks over the Hurricanes 4-1. Stars over the Penguins 3-2. Some games going on right now, and I think there's like 4 of those. You got the Blues and the Canadians are playing. There's 9 minutes left in the third period. Blues up 4-2 on the Canadians. The Rangers are up on the Golden Knights 2-1, and 10 minutes left in the third. And that Capitals are up on the Blue Jackets 1-0. There's 11 minutes and 19 seconds in the third on that. And the last game being played right now in Anaheim, the Ducks are up on the Blackhawks 2-0 with 11 minutes and 18 seconds in the second period on that one. That's a rundown with hockey. We're going to fly through these other sports right now because we got some talking to do with football, college,
Exactly. That's what I can wait to
everything.
get into.
So, I know it. I mean, we've only been on the air almost 8 minutes.
Yeah.
We just went through a few things. Let me get to see some college hoops here. Get some college hoops. I'll go over some scores there, and then we'll get into football, which will take us out through past the hour there.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here. Right now, you got a game going on. You got number 11 Gonzaga playing North Florida. It's 18-11. They just started. There's a little 13 minutes left in the first half of that game. Some finals. Alabama beating UTSA 97-55. Texas Tech over LSU 82-58. Kansas beating Missouri 80-60. North Carolina over Georgetown 81-61. That's just the games that was played today. And there's some games yesterday I'll go over.
Okay.
In Iowa, get this. Iowa State played number 1 Purdue. And they beat number 1 Purdue 81-58 at Purdue. So, like I said, the Big 12 is a basketball conference.
Yeah.
Iowa State and then you had.
I actually didn't see Purdue being number 1 slot. I just don't.
That's their first loss. They're 8-1. Purdue's been up there for the last probably 5 to 6 years. And then here you go. Once again, another Big 12 team. Number 2 Arizona beat number 20 Auburn 97-68. Michigan over Rutgers 101-60. You had Duke beating Michigan State 66-60. Louisville over Indiana 87-78. Houston beat Florida State 82-67. Illinois beat Tennessee 75-62. St. John's over Ole Miss 63-58. Washington over USC 84-76. Arkansas beat Fresno 82-58. And in that game yesterday that I went to, that was my first basketball game I've been to.
All righty.
Let's get to the box score. I'm going to tell you who that player was for Wake Forest. He played for him last year. I remember seeing him last year. The dude is a beast. Trayvon Spillers is his name. He ended up with 16 points, But their number one scorer of that game is Duke Harris. He had 28 points in that ball game on 9 of 17 shooting. He was 7 of 12 from the 3-point line.
Wow.
So, and the thing is with West Virginia, they didn't shoot well at all. 40% from the field, 21 of 52. Wow. Wake Forest shot 51%.
Mm.
And West Virginia only shot 21% from the 3-point line at 6 of 28. So that West Virginia's got some work to do to get back where they need to be and everything else. But that's a rundown with college basketball. We'll get into some college football and go over some scores. I sucked it up in my picks this weekend. You went 4-1. I went 2-3. I'll run down the scores and then we'll go over the playoffs and the messed up system that they have.
I know, cause I got a
So,
funny story about that.
okay, Friday night you had Tulane beating North Texas 34-21. You had Tulane, I had North Texas, and I'm shocked you went with Tulane and not a Texas school, but you went with Tulane.
Yeah.
And then James Madison was over Troy 31-14. And I do not know why we didn't have this on our picks. That's why I don't know why that does that. But I say both of us would have went with James Madison. But then you had Indiana beating Ohio State 13-10. Ohio State missed a game tying field goal, 27 yards. You had Georgia beating Alabama 28-7. You had Texas Tech beating BYU 34-7. Now that game was 13-7 at halftime. And then the upset of the day was Duke beating Virginia 27-20. Now
that one was a surprise.
that was a surprise. And here's what I'm gonna bring up. I'm gonna bring up the college playoffs. And I predicted after the games yesterday, I said Indiana will be 1, Ohio State 2, Georgia 3, and Texas Tech 4, and that's what it is.
Yep.
And it should be. I mean, the game that they played Ohio State number 1, number 2. That's to me, that's the way it should have fell.
Yeah, I was vying. I think even if Indiana still lost, Indiana should have still had that number 1. Still should have still been in the
still
top
had to
4
buy. Yeah.
because they'd have been, like I said, we
Now,
said on the audio, one would be 13-0, one would be 12-1.
now, if Ohio State would have beat them pretty bad, then you could probably drop them to number 3.
Yeah.
Or something like that, or number 4. But that, to me, I think and here's what we're gonna get at. This is the playoff setup. Like I said, Indiana's 1, they got to buy. Ohio State number 2 with the bye. Georgia at 3 with the bye, and Texas Tech at 4 with the bye. All right, here's your matchups. Okay. James Madison is playing Oregon.
Yeah, I seen that. Oregon
Okay.
is probably gonna slaughter them.
And my thing is, why not? I mean, I know I'm going to get, and I'm not a big Notre Dame fan, but why did you put James Madison in there?
Over Notre Dame.
Over Notre Dame or BYU.
That is true. Or
All right.
BYU. Because actually either one of those teams, BYU or Notre Dame, would stand a better chance than now. I could be surprised. James Madison might actually have a shot, but I don't think they do.
And here's what ticks me off about this political BS that's in the college football playoffs. And I hope some of the analysts watch our show, but I know they don't. Okay?
I know.
All right. You just put a 3-loss Alabama team into the playoffs. who got beat pretty handily by Georgia. They had negative rushing yards, okay, in that game. All right. And I heard everybody say, well, you can't base it off. Okay. Here's what contradicts themselves. They said you can't base it off of the championship game. Okay. Because they
Mm-hmm.
play an extra game. Well, that's the same thing with BYU. You can't base that off of BYU.
Yeah.
So you can't have one standard and for one the SEC and the rest of them you just forget it. So, all right, that's the same way with BYU. Okay, so you put Alabama in there and they're playing Oklahoma. The two schools I hate. I hate Alabama. I hate Oklahoma, and I hate Georgia. That's the three biggest schools in college I hate. I hate all three of those. Um, and here's the thing. Then you've got Tulane that's playing Ole Miss, which Tulane will probably beat Ole Miss. They got no
Mm,
coach. Their coach left.
yeah, I forgot about that. And no
So
coach.
you got no coach. I think their coordinator's still there. But when I go to pick this, we'll pick this later on, maybe next week when we get the bracket out and everything. But I'm gonna pick Tulane. There's your upset. Tulane beating Ole Miss because of
Yeah,
that.
Tulane should. Yep,
Now,
just because of that.
if Lane Kiffin was still there, I'd pick Ole Miss. And then you got Miami playing Texas A&M. My thing is, I don't see Miami beating Texas A&M.
I don't. I think Miami is another school that should not have gotten in.
Well, the only reason they got in was because Virginia
Someone had to
lost.
rep. Yeah, somebody
Virginia
has
lost.
to represent the ACC in that.
Well, they didn't have to represent the AC. The only reason they got in because they was ranked. They were 10th. But the thing is, with this, I mean, it's getting ready to expand to 16 teams.
Right.
But they're always going to keep Bama in there. You're going to have Bama make it 1 year with 4 losses because
Right,
it's
but what you were saying earlier about the politics in there, I think Notre Dame ended up screwing themselves because of the politics. Because Notre Dame is independent; they're not in any
that's it.
conference.
Nah. So I mean, and I don't know. They say well, you could hear them talking on the sports channels and stuff and the ESPN, and they contradict themselves with what they're saying. I listen to them. I got them on XM radio when I'm driving and listening, and they're
Mm-hmm.
contradicting themselves. I mean, you can't say, well, you can't hold a conference championship against them, against Alabama. Well, you can't hold it against BYU either.
Sure can't.
If you're not going off that performance in that championship, then BYU should be in that playoff. So don't hand me that line of bull and
Mm-hmm.
say that. I mean, but that's the layout right now. That is what we got. That's the teams that are in it. But what's shocking to me, they put Ole Miss in there with the mess that they're going to be in.
Right.
So, and I'm going to tell you this. Which they're not in there, and they shouldn't have been. Texas thought their coach said they deserve to be in it. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. You wasn't consistent all year. Y'all didn't
Not
deserve to be
Texas.
in it. And
Texas didn't.
Alabama didn't deserve to be in it either.
Right. But here's
So
the thing with Notre Dame, they're unless I got this news from Instagram. Instagram is saying that since Notre Dame didn't get in the playoffs, they're deciding to forego a bowl game. They will not play a bowl game.
but they got that option. It's like an invite. You can play it or not.
Right. They're choosing not to. They're choosing to sit out. And
Yeah.
my thing is that's kind of childish.
Well, I'll tell you what, they may have if they left it up to the players. If the players decide unanimously and they don't want to, then so be it. Don't leave it up to the coaches.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
All right, let's see what we got here. Oh man, them games are getting ready to start shortly. What's today's date?
The 7th.
19th. Okay. All right. Don't next weekend we'll do our the college playoff starts on the 19th, the Friday. Um, we'll do our picks next Sunday for the playoffs and everything else. And let me see when these bowl games start.
Okay.
December 13th. They start next weekend.
Right.
Um,
I gotta disappear for a minute. Hold on 1 second.
all right. Well, you do that, and I'm gonna go down. I'm gonna roll down these bowl games.
Okay.
All right. Starting the season off December 13th, you've got the Cricket Celebration Bowl, South Carolina State versus Prairie View A&M. You've got the Buckle Up LA Bowl, Boise State versus Washington. You've got the IS4S Salute to Veterans Bowl, Troy versus Jackson State. You got the Staff DNA Cure Bowl, Old Dominion versus South Florida. You got the 68 Ventures Bowl, Louisiana versus Delaware. You've got the Xbox Bowl, Missouri State versus Arkansas State. Um, Myrtle Beach Bowl presented by the Engine. You got Canoe State versus Western Michigan. Union Home Mortgage Gasparilla Bowl, Memphis versus NC State. You got the famous Idaho Potato Bowl, Washington State versus Utah State. The Bush's Boca Rotten Bowl, Toledo versus Louisville. New Orleans Bowl, Western Kentucky versus Southern Miss. The Scooters Coffee Frisco Bowl, UNLV versus Ohio. You've got the Sheraton Hawaii Bowl, California versus Hawaii. The Game Above Sports Bowl, Central Michigan versus Northwestern. The Rate Bowl, New Mexico versus Minnesota. The Serve Pro First Responders Bowl, Florida International versus UTSA. And then you've got the Gold Bowling Military Bowl, Pittsburgh versus East Carolina. The Bad Boy Mowers Pinstripe Bowl, Penn State versus Clemson. That should be a good game. The Wasabi Fenway Bowl, Yukon versus Army. You've got the Pop Tarts Bowl, Georgia Tech versus BYU. That's in Orlando, Florida. You got the Snoop Dogg. Hey, you ready for this? The Snoop Dogg Arizona Bowl. Snoop Dogg. All right, Snoop, you got a bowl named after you. Miami, Ohio versus Fresno State. You've got the Esla, New Mexico Bowl, North Texas versus San Diego State. The Tax Slayer Gator Bowl, Virginia versus Missouri. The Kinder's Texas Bowl, LSU versus Houston. The J Lab Birmingham Bowl. I don't know what's going on there with that. There's no teams there. Well, then you've got the Radiance Technology Independence Bowl, Coastal Carolina and Louisiana Tech. You got the Liberty Mutual Music City Bowl, Tennessee versus Illinois. The Valor Alamalo Bowl, USC versus TCU. The Relay Quest Bowl, Iowa versus Vanderbilt. That should be a good game. You got the Tony the Tiger Sun Bowl, Arizona
Yeah.
State versus Duke. The Cheez-It Citrus Bowl, Michigan versus Texas. SRS Distribution Las Vegas Bowl, Nebraska versus Utah. Then you got the Lockheed Martin Armed Force Bowl, Rice versus Texas State.
Oh,
Autos.
okay. That's the wrong one I was thinking because the Army versus Navy is playing a game in a bowl game. I would have thought for sure that was the Lockheed Martin.
No, they're playing this weekend. Uh, Army versus Navy, and that's whatever. That's their normal.
Oh,
Army's
that's
play. You is out. Army's playing somebody in a bowl game. They made a bowl game. They're at the beginning. And then you got the Duke's Mayo Bowl, Wake Forest versus Mississippi State. The AutoZone Liberty Bowl is Navy versus Cincinnati. You've got the Trust and Will Holiday Bowl, Arizona versus SMU, and that is a rundown of the bowl games. I'm gonna mention this right here. You got a bunch of these bowl games with a bunch of small schools now. I mean, they are not. Some of these games are just. It's just going to be watching like the Pac play the American or something like that. These games they're getting out of hand now because you got all these small schools playing.
Yeah, true.
So I mean, majority. I don't see no audience on the beginning. Majority of these bowl games. While you was out, I'll go ahead and run down a couple of the start just to show you. So you got the Cricket Bowl, the Cricket Celebration Bowl. Okay, guess who's playing? South Carolina State versus Prairie View A&M. I mean, look what we're getting here now.
Yeah, that's a real small one.
And then you've got Troy versus Jacksonville State in the Veterans Bowl. I mean, you're getting Old Dominion versus South Florida, Louisiana versus Delaware. I mean, these bowls are going to be.
It's a money thing. That's all it is. It's the
Well,
money.
I mean, see, you got the playoff system now, so you pull all these teams that have been better teams playing, and you got to put all these smaller teams in. It's got the makes the 6 games wins, so that gets 6 wins.
Right.
So
Yeah.
that's where we're at with the college. Like I said, next week. Well, yeah. I think we should wait till next week.
Yeah, we can do it next week.
Um. Okay, yeah, we'll do that. Do you want to do all the bowl games too?
Nah, because like that Louisiana versus Delaware, nobody's gonna really care about that one,
No,
except for if you're in Delaware or Louisiana.
that's
But
it.
we're only like a few hours away from Delaware. But no, I'd rather not do them.
All right, let's see what we got here. Let's go moving right along to the NFL.
Yeah,
You had
because I
a,
didn't get to see the Cleveland game, and they said some stuff about the Cleveland game. I gotta ask you if they true.
well, I tell you what, I looked at Sanders' stats. All right, I'll go run down some scores here. You've got the Titans beating the Browns 31-29. You got the Broncos beating the Raiders 24-17. The Seahawks over the Falcons 37-9. You got the Bills over the Bengals 39-34. You got the Vikings over the Commanders 31-0. You got the Dolphins over the Jets 34-10. You got the Saints over the Bucks 24-10. The Jaguars beat the Colts 36-19. You've got the Steelers beat the Ravens 27-22. Packers over the Bears 28-21. The Rams beat the Cardinals 45-17. And on Thursday night, Beans' boys lost to the Lions 44-30.
They went down. Sorry, man, I had to take that call when my son was calling in. My show is now 9:00, but I had to take that.
But what I was getting at, here's you ready for Sanders' stats?
Yeah,
He's making me look good, and I like that.
but here's like I said, but I got this information from Instagram, but I wouldn't put it past them.
What's that?
They're benching Sanders.
Not after these stats. You ready to hear these stats? 23 of 42 for 364 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. He had 3 carries for 29 yards and a touchdown, averaging 9.7 yards a carry. Are you benching him? No.
Exactly.
No,
but
you're not benching that.
I wouldn't put it past Kevin Stefanski to put it. I wouldn't.
They supposed to have been benching him 2 weeks ago. He's still playing. That's 3 games he's played, correct? They ain't going to bitch him. I mean, they got an offense that's moving. So, but they
But
lost
they
to
still lost
Tennessee.
to Tennessee, though. That's the bad part.
They lost to Tennessee. Hey, you could probably blame it on some of the defense. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what happened. Um, but I didn't watch. I didn't hardly watch nothing. I watched a little bit of the Packers Bears game. Um, but let's look at the couple things here. All right, the Colts go down by the Jaguars. What quarter did Daniel Jones go out in?
I don't know because before it was like it wasn't even halftime on my Steelers game when because I was watching the Steelers. It wasn't even halftime when they said that Daniel Jones was going out. So at least had to been the second quarter.
So here's the thing. I mean, the Jags said, "Well, we don't get no respect." The Jags ain't a good team. I mean, you're
Nah,
winning, but you're not a good team.
yeah.
I mean, yeah, you got to win, but now I'll tell you what: the Colts are on a downslide. And my Chiefs are going to lose. They're getting ready to lose. They just missed a field goal.
Oh gosh.
So they're getting ready to lose. But they're on the Colts are on a downslide. Um, and then in the division, the Bucks are in. The Bucks lost to the Saints. Um, it's just like, man, this year is crazy.
Yeah, I know. Especially not even this year. This week, we both had the Bucks. Oh, the Bucks gonna beat the Saints. Took it, and Minnesota act like they are a I don't know, like they're a playoff contender. They shut Washington out, and it was like just a few weeks ago, y'all couldn't even score a touchdown.
Yeah. And Jake McCarthy went 16 to 23 for 163 and 3 touchdowns.
Yeah,
I mean, it's just like I don't know. Um, but it's uh it's just a crazy football season this year. The Broncos barely beat the Raiders. Um, but Steelers beat the Ravens. And, you
yeah.
know,
Steelers. That's the one I watched, and that one was like a lot of people. Did you? Oh, did you see it? Because
no,
I'm
I
sure
didn't.
we could. Oh, you didn't get to see it because
No,
there's a controversy to where Isaiah Likely, I believe that's. I know the last name is Likely. I think his first name is Isaiah.
yeah, it
But
is. It is.
anyway, he caught the ball. He had it in his hands, but he didn't bring it to his chest. They got one step, two step, and a third step. This ball was still here like this, and on the third step, the B knocked it out, and they said no touchdown because he had the steps. He just didn't make that football move.
He don't have to bring it into him. All he's got to do is control the ball.
That's what I'm saying.
You
But they
saying?
said he has to have some sort of football move. If he brought it in, that would have been considered a football move. For some reason, that third step, they didn't count that as a football move because it wasn't a complete step. They said it's a half step. He had his foot like you know how you have your heel down on the ground,
Yeah,
but your toes are still up.
that's
When his
crazy.
heel hit, the ball got smacked out his hand. But that goes back to I was a fan of it because it goes back to that Dez Bryant rule. They took it away from Dez Bryant in the end zone.
Well, they done that because they said he fumbled the ball, but the ground can't cause a fumble with Des Bryant on that deal. So that
Exactly.
ball that ball should have been down right there at the half-yard line.
Yep.
But see, and they reviewed that. The bad thing, they reviewed
Hmm.
that. So
But
um
that's why they came up with this stupid rule now. There's it's called the Dez Bryant rule, where you have to have 2 feet down and you have to make a football move. Well, his third step was never completed, and they
uh-huh.
said they never seen the football move because he caught it. It was in his hands during step one, step two, and about a third step. Even though I would count that as a third step because his heel was down, the
Hmm.
toes just didn't hit the ground. So By that third step, that ball was knocked out his hand. So they said no touchdown.
All right, as of right now with our picks in the NFL, you have missed 9. I have missed 8. Okay. Both of us on our next 2 picks is opposite. I've got the
Yep.
Texans winning this. You got the Chiefs. I've got the Eagles. You got the Chargers. So who knows how this is going to go? We've
Would-
had a
would-
bad. You had a good. You went 4-1 in the picks in college.
right.
So, but we'll see how that goes. I need to get over here to our picks for week 14. Is it week 14?
It
NFL
should be
or 15?
15 because we're
15.
we're on 14 now.
Yeah, we're on 14 now. I had 13 here. I don't know why I had 13. So it's going to be 15. We don't got no college on this time. Week 15. Man, all right. Let's see here. Them Chiefs cannot get nothing going. They can't do a thing. Now I seen something which it's hard for me to believe. Somebody posted that the Chiefs can lose one more and win out and still make the playoffs. I don't see that.
Yeah, actually, they're talking about that because, and the main reason why I what you call it, because they're still talking about that with Dallas that they can still. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, are you just still trying to sell tickets, or got some
Well,
hope going?
y'all can still run the table. Run the games, win the game, win out. Eagles are still going to lose, I think. 2 more. But all right, here we go for next week. This Thursday, you've got the Falcons at the Buccaneers. I'm gonna go Bucks, but I don't know if they will.
I'm gonna go Bucks too, but I'm like, did the Saints show us something? Should I go Falcons? I would if Penix Jr. was playing, I would go Falcons. But Kirk Cousins, he's an old veteran quarterback. He probably know. I think I'm gonna go Falcons.
And you got the Bears playing the Browns. I'm going Bears.
Bears, yeah.
When's the last time the Bears won that division? When they went to the Super Bowl? What? When was that?
Ooh, that was a
That's when
long
they had
time.
Cutler, wasn't it? Jay Cutler, or who was that quarterback they had?
I think it was Jay Cutler. I cannot
That's the last
remember.
time they won that division.
Yeah, because that was when they went to they had to face the Colts. The Colts won it. The Tony Dungy got it that Super Bowl ring.
Yep. Then you got the Chargers playing the Chiefs. I'm going Chargers.
I'm going Chiefs.
You got the Bills and the Patriots at New England. I'm going the Patriots on this.
I think I'm gonna have to go Bills. Bills still got a good offense. They just ain't got no D.
Got the Packers at the Broncos. I'm going Packers.
I'm going Broncos.
Broncos have been skating by the last couple games.
They have been skating by, but it's like the Pack, they're skating by also.
The Ravens are playing the Bengals.
Bengals.
Yeah, I'm going Bengals on this. You got the Commanders playing the G-Men. Who knows with this? I'm going G-Men.
Commanders. Okay. Yeah.
The Raiders are playing the Eagles. Eagles are going to win that one.
Oh man, I wish I could go for the Raiders, but no.
All right, you got the Texans are playing the Cardinals. I'm going Texans on that.
Texans.
Lions playing the Rams. In LA, I'm going
Rams.
Rams. Panthers are playing the Saints. I'm going Panthers on this.
Panthers. Yeah.
Which the Panthers already lost the Saints once.
Ooh.
Colts are playing Seahawks. Seahawks will win that.
Seahawks.
Colts are going to fall to 8-6.
Colts really don't have a quarterback. They
Who's their-
said Richardson is on IR because he had hurt himself in the locker room on a freak accident.
You're kidding me.
Yeah, he's on IR. He's been on IR for the last couple weeks. It's just like they have no. And then Dave Jones went down. I don't know who they brought in as quarterback.
Cowboys are playing the Vikings. I'm going Cowboys.
Cowboys.
Dolphins are playing the Steelers on Monday night. You know what?
Steelers. McDaniel's going to be getting fired this year. At the end of this year, he's
I'll
going to
go
be getting
Steelers.
fired. And then I got a question for you. I've been waiting. I've been holding on this for the longest.
What's that?
What do you think the chances of the state of Ohio? They have two professional football teams, the Bengals and the Browns. What do you think the possibilities of both need new head coaches next year? Both teams getting new head coaches. Because Kevin, he's gone for Cleveland. He has definitely got to be gone.
I think Zach was it Zach Thomas?
It's Zach. So I was thinking Zach Scott. I can't remember what his name. He got a common last name, but we'll just call him Zach for this because I can't remember.
Crap! I can't think of a. Well, anyway, for the Bengals, I think he'll still be there. You got to look. The last 2 years they've had injuries. That's what's killed them. Is injuries, and it's hard for me to. I mean, I know they do it. They fire a coach, but when you got teams that had injuries for back-to-back years, or an injury bug hits you, how you gonna fire the coach? You know what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying, but I was just like saying that would be like a historic thing for me because Kevin is definitely gone because he's been there. Kevin Stefanik been there for 5 years. Last 5 years, they have not gone nowhere. And get this, also the main thing, even though Kevin Stefanik, I will not put this on him, but he's going to get blamed for. He's going to believe he may have even had some. I doubt he had any input in this, but he may have. But when he got there 5 years ago, well, guess what that was? That was the start of the Deshaun Watson trade.
Mm-hmm.
It's like ever since he's been there. That's why I say because he just got there, so I don't think he would have had any input in there on getting rid of Baker and bringing in Deshaun Watson. But it's been 5 years of bad decisions, nothing but crap. And
they're showing the playoff picture right now. Seahawks, 49ers, and I forgot who else was in the wild card.
Seahawks, 49ers,
Chicago.
Yeah, that's right. Because Chicago's no longer leading the division; they're in the wild
Green
card.
Bay is. Yeah, so they're in the wild card now. So yeah, that's what I was looking at there. But the thing is with I think his name's Zach Thomas.
It might be Thomas. Wherever it is, the common name. I cannot.
Let's see here. I don't know if I got this. Usually I had the. I don't now. I used to have the Bengals app on my phone.
Mm-hmm.
Because where I went down there to the Chiefs game, and it's not on there now. Zach Taylor. Taylor. I knew it was Zach Taylor. I think he'll still be there one more year. I can see the Browns getting rid of
Stefanik.
Stefani or whatever his name is.
I know, Kevin.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing with the Bengals franchise. The Bengals ain't loaded with money. So I don't know what they're playing Zach Taylor. So who you gonna get? Who you gonna go get? It's probably gonna want a bunch of money. You know what I'm saying?
This is true.
So they're probably kind of a bind or a pickle maybe when it comes to the money. The Browns must have money because you threw away a bunch of money to Watson.
I know.
So,
Or what's his name? Kevin O. What's it called? O'Connell. I think that's who it is. The
uh,
Vikings coach.
yeah,
He might be on the hot seat. I don't think he will be because
I don't think this year he won't.
new quarterback and everything. Well, second year quarterback. So I don't. I think they'll give him time to develop him and stuff like that.
The Saints, their coaches, this is his second year.
No, I think this was what's his name's first year though. They
Didn't he
fired
went?
they fired that dude last year, and
Yeah,
they
but
got
he the field in did. He was the same one that filled in and they hired.
no, he's Philadelphia's coordinator, offensive coordinator.
Okay,
Kendall
okay.
is his first name begin with a K and it's Moore. This is his first
Oh,
year.
Kellen Moore.
Yeah, that's it.
You should know that. He was with the
Yeah, he
Cowboys.
was a cowboy.
Come on, man. But
I knew
okay.
his last name was Moore.
But I guess that's about it as far as rundown right now. Just watching these games. You know, tomorrow night you got the Eagles and the Chargers. Um, and then we didn't mention, you know, Daniel Jones is out for the season with that torn Achilles.
Oh, that's right. I just told you that. We didn't mention it on the
Yeah.
show. That's right. We was talking. That was
So,
us talking.
and you know, you see all this stuff they talk um, about Mike Tomlin firing him from the Steelers.
Yeah, I think that they squashed all that today.
Yeah,
You
I
know,
mean, well, here's the thing: why are you going to fire him for? I mean, how you going to get a better coach than? I mean, Tomlin's a good coach.
yeah,
So who you going to replace him with? I mean, seriously. And they're not the Steelers organization ain't going to fire him because he's just the third coach in that franchise history. So
this is true. And
he's
not to
staying.
mention, that's not like a lot of coaches just growing off trees that
No,
you can just pick up. And you're like,
but that franchise is loyal to coaches.
yep.
That's one of the few. Um, and then Geno Smith, I guess he went out with a shoulder injury in that Raiders Broncos game. It's showing here.
Oh dang.
Um, let's see here. I'm just running down through here.
Was the Pats on a bye this week?
Yeah, Pats, the Panthers, the Pats, the 49ers, and one other team was on a bye.
I
And
thought
that's
they was
it.
done with buys.
This is the last week of buys. So the Giants was no, yeah, the Giants was on a bye. That was the fourth team. So that is where we're at with the NFL. So we're a little getting around 50 minutes in this episode. You got
Yep.
anything else?
I got nothing else.
Well, like we always do at the end of each episode, if you're thinking about harming and hurting yourself, dial 988 and then dial 1. That's the Veteran Crisis Line. Or you can call 1 800 273 8255, 1 800 273 8255. Dial 1 as well with that. But the best way is just that quick number 988. Remember that 988 and then 1.
Yep. It's a now national number because I forgot what game it was. I was
Yep.
like listening and they said down 988. I was like, oh man, they be watching the show. They be watching on the sly.
Yeah.
They know they watch
So
the show.
just keep in mind with your pay attention to your friends, your battle buddies, or anything. If there's any change in behavior, you know, try to talk to them, try to see if they can get some help.
And I seen a commercial earlier with it was on mental health issue. It was with Terry Crews, and you know, normally stuff with Terry Crews is funny, but he was saying like if you having a friend that has mental issues at the moment, and you might want to stay. You might want to give him space. Do not give him space. As you might think that you don't want to get in his business, you need to get in his business. Find out what your friend. Keep an eye on your friend. I mean, like you
That's
being
it.
in his business can be the difference of him being here tomorrow or
Yep.
not.
The thing is, let me tell you this: they get isolated and get by themselves. That's when the stuff happens. If they got people to keep them occupied and keep their mind off of that, that makes the
Right.
difference.
And the main thing is when they get isolated and they get by themselves, the first thing that comes to mind, the reason why they're doing this because nobody cares about them.
That's it.
And in
It's
their
the
mind,
loneliness.
it
Loneliness. I mean,
exactly. And in their
so
mind, it becomes a true statement because nobody's there.
yeah, that's it. So you got anything else, Beans?
I got nothing else.
Well, y'all have a good night. Stay safe. We'll try to do another audio this week, and if not, we'll see you live next Sunday.
Y'all enjoy y'all's day.
Yeah, have a good one.
Goodbye.